So BS, who is BS? I think, is it okay for you?
Sir, someone have removed me, sir, and I joined. I rejoined again.
Okay, that is not me. That is
Okay, sir.
oh. Maybe your good friend removed you. Anyway, so similarity measure is, as I said, it is a numerical value. Can you see the slide 37? Slide number is must be there. So it title says key similarity and dissimilarity measure.
Sir.
Yeah, good. So it is the numerical measure to find how alike one object with others. And higher the similarity value, it indicates the objects are more alike. When we compare, there should be comparison between a pair of objects. Okay, so it does not make any sense comparing one object with itself. Generally, similarity values fall in the range 0 to 1, including 0 and 1. So in opposite is dissimilarity measure. So what do you say ki dissimilarity measure is how different the two objects are. If value is lower, then it indicates that they are more alike. And minimum value of the dissimilarity measure is often 0, but there is no upper limit. So one example of dissimilarity measures that we are very much habituated is something called Euclidean distance. So if the two objects is very close to each other, or 2 points on Euclidean space, like 2D space, if very close to each other, and that distance might be very close to 0, then we will say is these 2 points are similar to each other. In the other way, the dissimilarity value is 0, and there is no upper limit between these 2 points. 2 points can be anywhere, so therefore it is written key there is no upper limit between on the over of the dissimilarity measures. But very often we put the upper limit for purpose of the computation. So these are the basic idea about the similarity and dissimilarity. So we'll go more in details. So I will try to make it full screen. Just let me know if you can see the slide nicely. Otherwise, I will be back to this presentation style.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes.
So what is the upper limit we consider for dissimilarity?
It depends on the, let's say, it depends on the data set. Okay, because our data set is always, when we work with data set, so data set is limited, right? So therefore we consider is there will be a upper limit of that. So we need to compute the highest distance between one point to another point is considered as the limit.
Okay.
Okay. So now you can see a table in the next slide. Okay. So tables, it has 3 column: attribute type, dissimilarity, and similarity. Why I am saying so detailed? So you can match whether you are in the right slide or not. Okay. So if you are in the right slide, then I can move forward. Otherwise, maybe I should back to the earlier presentation style. So
No,
this
sir, we
time,
on the previous.
yeah, right slide.
No, sir, it's not
No,
changing.
sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. We are on the previous slide.
So it is not changing.
It is not changing.
No, sir.
So now,
लिया था क्या क्या
Yes, sir. Now it did.
अबे यस सर अटेंडेंस लिया था क्या ये
okay, can you mute yourself? Mute yourself.
Yes, sir. Now it's changed.
Yeah. So then maybe this is the best option to use. So here, as I said in the last class, there are 4 type of attributes. One is nominal. As I said, is the color would be the best example for the nominal attributes, where you can say whether they are same or they are not same. And then another is ordinal, and then interval or ratio. So finally, what we do it, say suppose we have an attribute, okay, that is nominal attribute. So that is nominal attribute. Okay. So in case of the nominal attribute, if value of those value of the attributes is same, see, always we compare between two objects. So two objects will have two values from the same attributes, and then if the value of the same attribute is same, x and y both are same, then we'll say is the dissimilarity value is 0, whereas similarity is maximum. Okay, and similarly, if both are not same, just if it is not color, red is not the, if you compute the dissimilarity between red and yellow, so both are not same, so then we'll get the dissimilarity value is 1, and on the other side the similarity value will be 0. And next, for the ordinal attributes, say ordinal attributes, a typical example I gave in the last class is like, say suppose t-shirt size, so is small, medium, XL, double XL, triple XL. So these are the order, okay? And then what you can do, you can map this order from 0 to 1. Say small, you can map to 0, and then medium you can map to 1, and then XL you can map to 2, and so on. So therefore, after that, say suppose if you want to find the dissimilarity value, then what you do it, you just simply take the modulus of this x minus y, you take the absolute value. So let's say you want to find the double XL and then small. So then it will be say 4 minus 1, and then because you started from the 0, so number of value will start from the n minus 1. Value will be, total number of value will be n, and because you started from the 0, so it is n minus 1. So that is the dissimilarity. And since I said ki dissimilarity is opposite to dissimilarity, so what can be done is whatever the value you are getting, and then obviously this value, maximum value, what will be the maximum value? It will be 1. So therefore, when dissimilarity value 1, similarity value should be 0. So therefore, it is s minus 1 minus d. And then for the interval or ratio, if dissimilarity value, take that absolute differences. And because I said the similarity is opposite to dissimilarity, so you have a quite option how to present the similarity value. Say let's say, and we can do what is s minus minus d. Similarity value is opposite to the what is called is distance. Say let's say if it is 2, so then similarity will come is minus 2. Okay, but we said is similarity value should be 0 to 1. So therefore, we need to choose properly. Okay. Next is what we can do. We can put 1 by reciprocal. Another way we can represent the it is not a linear. So we can put e to the power minus d. So that ensure the value should be between 0 and 1. And another option is this one. So these are the way we need to explore. So there is no perfect or unique answer that which similarity value or which dissimilarity will be used for a particular domain. So you need to find the domain and what are the attribute value, and you need to choose the best one. Okay, so these are the guidelines that you should follow. Even though if you can come up with some other idea, so similarity should be, so only sense key. You need to see that similarity is opposite to the dissimilarity, so that should be satisfied. Okay, so that is why here dissimilarity measure. So because it is opposite, so you can write the minus d, but it should make a sense while applying this similarity value in particular domain. Now this is a very well-known dissimilarity measures. Okay, this is well-known distance measures. So this is the number of dimension k equal to 1 to n and xk minus yk. So and then square, where n is the number of dimension and then xk yk are the respectively kth attribute value. And then obviously if you write in, so it needs for standardization. Why standardization is required? Let's say if you write distance in centimeter and if you write the distance in kilometer, so it make a huge difference. This is not the only thing. Let's say one attribute value, that range is say 0 to 1, and another attribute value range is say let's say 0 to 100. So if you start comparing these two attributes, So obviously the distance that is 0 to 100 will dominate the other attribute. So therefore many application we need to do the scaling. So these are the things we need to know more later on. So now we'll give some example here. So there are four points, that is you can see P1, P2, P3, P4, and these are the coordinate of the points X and Y. So P1 can be said is also an object. Okay. So if I say chair has 4 legs and then color or not color. So let's say another is what is the weight of the chair. So these two attributes can be placed in two-dimensional space, and then we can plot the plot on the two-dimensional space. In the chair, that is the attribute is nothing but a point in two-dimensional space. So therefore, very often we will say that points, object, pattern, these are the quite synonym or one to others. Okay. So now say let's say there is something called the distance matrix. So that will be using this term later on also. So what is that? Distance matrix is nothing but which speak about the distances from all one pair to all point to all other points. So, one point to all other points. So in this example, there are 4 points. So essentially we want there should be a matrix of size 4 by 4, and then we'll get the distances from one point to another. That is, as you know, that distance from P1 to P2 is 0. P1 to P1 is 0. P1 to P2 will be, if you compute the distance, so we'll get 2.828. Here distance means we are considering the Euclidean distance. Okay, and similarly P1 to P3 is this one the distance. So this is something called the distance matrix. Okay. So now there is something called the Minkowski's distance. So this is a generalized distance. What we did it earlier in case of the Euclidean distance. So we took the square here. Okay, but dimension can be anything. In general, we use 2 dimension, but it can be anything. So dimension can be 10 if the object is identified by 10 attributes. Then we will say that data set has the 10 dimensions. So that is we are talking about K to Nk. So we have the 10 different summation here. But we can take the either you can take the square. If we take the square, so that is something called the what is called is L2 norm. And then if you take the 1, then we will say is the city block distance. And if you take something else, so and then we have to take the 1 by R. So R is something 1 square and so on. But this is the generalized formula for the Euclidean distance. Maybe next slide we can see a little details. So yeah, if R is 1, what is R? Please note that R is not the dimension. So R is appearing here. So if R is 1, this is something called the L1 norm or taxi cab on Manhattan distance. If R is 2, that is something called Euclidean distance. And if R is infinity, we say is the L infinity norm. Okay. Now we will see example of with the same 4 points, what will be the value of R1, R2. Obviously R1 is very easy, R2 we know, and R infinity may be new to you. So we have the same set of points here. On the left side you can see P1, P2, P3, P4. On the right side, if you compute the L1 distance, L1 is nothing but the city block distance. What is that? So I want to compute distance from P1 to P2. So P1 and P2, you take the absolute difference 0, 2. So absolute difference will be 2 and 2, 0. So absolute difference will be 2 and you add them. So therefore you will get the value 4. Similarly, you take P3 and P2. So P3 is appearing here and P2 is appearing here. It should be 2, 2, 3. So this is absolute difference is 1, 0, 1. So it will be 2. So that is all about the city block distance, and L2 distance that we know, that is the Euclidean distance. So what you have to do, 0 to 2 square plus 0 to 2 square, so 2 to 4, and then you make it square. There is some issue here. So 2 square 4 plus 2 square 4, so it will be 8. Take square root of 8, so you will get this value. And then we are coming to L infinity norm. So L infinity norm, if I go back the slide here, what is there in the here? So this is the generalized distance. So what do you take it? Xk minus yk infinity 1 by 1 infinity. Okay. Now Yeah. So that is the, so what happened, so suppose you have the 10 dimension. So wherever the difference is maximum, so that will reach much faster to the infinity than the all other points. Okay. So therefore, what is done is while computing the distance between two objects, okay, what you do it, wherever you will get the maximum differences across the dimension, so that will be the L infinity norm. Now you come with the example. So let's say we want to compute the infinity norm between P1 and P4. Okay, so P1, P4. So these dimension, x dimension, what is the difference? That is 5. For y difference, what is the difference? That is 1. So you take the maximum of these two. So maximum of these two is 5. So therefore P1 to P4 L infinity norm is 5. Is it okay? So similarly for P1 P4, P1 P4, so that is I said P1 P3, so that is 0 3 and 2 1. So obviously L infinity norm between P1 P3 will be 3. P1 P3 will be 3. Okay. So I am moving to the next slide, that is slide is 44. Problem with the Euclidean distance is that when we compute the distance, or problem with Euclidean or L norm, whatever is there, so while you compute the distance between 2 points, we are only considering the attribute value of those 2 points. We are not considering the entire data sets, how they distributed, how and what is the distribution of the other points in the data set. So there is a distance measure introduced by P.C. Mahalanobis. He is the founder of ISI Kolkata in 1931. So 31 or 34. So P.C. Mahalanobis introduced one distance measures, and these distance measure published in a conference paper held in 1941 in Kolkata. So here in this distance measure, what he proposed is, while computing the distance between 2 points, so distribution of the other points should be considered. So then he came up with one distance measure, so that is later on named as the Mahalanobis distance. So while computing the distance measure between 2 points, what we do it, we need to compute, there is something called the covariance matrix. What is covariance matrix? So covariance matrix is a matrix. Let's say you have the, let's say in this example you have the 2 features. So therefore size of the covariance matrix will be 2 cross 2. If you have 10 features, then size of the covariance matrix will be 10 by 10. Okay. So in this 2 cross 2 covariance matrix, the principal diagonal of the matrix will be the variance between the same features. So that means if you have the features f1 and f2, because in this example you have the feature x, another feature y, so you will get a matrix of size 2 by 2, and then in the 0 0 position, if you start the matrix from 0 1, 0 0 position will have the variance between the same points, and we know how to compute the variance. And on the other side, similarly for 1 1 point also we'll get the variance, but in the position that is 0 1, so this position we should compute the covariance value. So covariance value also will come up, we'll show the formula later on, and so that should be incorporated while computing the distance here. So if you see the formula, what is that x minus y? What is the cardinality? This x is a vector, y is a vector. Okay. So then what is the length of the vector? That is 2 by 2. So then x minus y transpose. So what will be the size of this matrix? So x minus y. So vector is represented in column representation. So vector is generally 2 cross 1. So therefore x minus y will be 1 cross 2, and then covariance matrix size will be 2 cross 2, and next x minus 1 will be 2 cross 1. So therefore output of the Moranovich distance will be a scalar value, and then as we know the distance is a scalar, so we'll get this distance. So it is found that distance between two red points, if you take the Euclidean distance, so it will be 14.7. If you take the Moranovich distance, it is 6. So you are welcome to ask question. Loudly. So no question, so I should move.
Sir, that T is the transpose of matrix.
Transpose of that matrix x minus y. X is a vector, y is a vector. Okay.
So can you show an example of Maranovich's distance? This is like the calculation.
Okay. Maybe next slide you can see.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So let's say covariance matrix. As I said, this side will be with the same variable with x. This is x and this is y. So this side will be x and this is y. So x. So this, let's say you got 0.3. How to compute? So as I said, the principal diagonal basically give you the variance, and other entry will give the covariance between the two variable x and y. Okay. So let's say it is given, that is covariance matrix is given, and then you have to compute the distance between A to B. And A is 0.5, as you can see, 0.5, 0.5. Okay. Then B is, let's say 0, 1. Okay. So then what will be the value of A minus B? Can you do? What is that? A equal to 0.5, 0.5. B is, what is that? 0 and 1. So what will be A minus B? What will be A minus B? Chinmoy?
Sir, 0.5 and minus 0.5.
Yes. So 0.5 and 0.5. Okay. So 0.5 and minus 0.5. So that will be A minus B, and you take the transpose of it. So then it will be 0.5 minus 0.5. Okay. So that size will be 1 cross 2. Vector is represented generally in column. So but you take the transpose, so it will be 1 cross 2. And then you have the covariance matrix. Covariance matrix is 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0.2 and 0.3. Okay. So if you compute in this way, then you will get the distance from A to B is 5. Now if you compute the L1 distance, what will you get the value between A and B? What will be the L1 distance from A and B? Between A and B, what will be the equivalent distance?
What?
1.
0.5 root 2.
0.5 plus 0.5. So it will be 1.
1 by root 2.
So it will be 1 L1 distance. Okay, but if you compute the Molar-Mills distance, you will get 5. Is it okay? Or you need more example? I think when you start attending classes, you should have the pen and paper.
Yes, sir.
Which one is yes? You should have, or you understood?
Sir, understood, sir. Like in live classes, like in a class, we could have done it in a better way.
Yeah, it's good. You understood. Yeah. Next, we can move to the next one. Common properties of a distance. Distance such as the Euclidean distance have some well-known properties. Distance between 2 points should be greater than equal to 0. So this is something called positive definiteness. Okay. And if it is 0, then it is obviously that it is the same point. This is something called what is called non-negativity. It can be 0 also. And the distance, that is for the Euclidean distance, distance between x to y and distance between y to x both are same. Okay. And then last one is the triangular inequality. As you know, the distance between x to z is lesser than the distance between x to y plus distance y to z. So this is nothing but that we have studied earlier, maybe class 8 or maybe 7th. We had a theorem that if in a triangle, the side of the summation of the side of the true triangle always it is greater than equal to the length of the other side of the triangle. So this is something called triangle inequality. And if any distance measure satisfies this property, is that distance is called the metric. And essentially, the Euclidean distance is a matrix. But if you take the squared of the Euclidean distance, so squared of the Euclidean distance, so that is not a metric. So proving that that is not a metric, so one example is sufficient. Okay. Squared of the Euclidean distance is not a metric, but Euclidean distance is a metric. So having said that, so another thing is similarity also have some well-known properties. So as if the same point, so it will have the maximum value, and similarity very often, so it is also symmetric. But as I said earlier, so if some situation we can say the similarity may not be the symmetric. Let's say if you have a friend, you have a close friend, okay, you consider someone is very close to you, but he or she may not consider that you are the close friend to him or her. So that relation is not a symmetric. Okay. So therefore, it is not necessary to have the symmetric relation. I feel Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very close to me, but even he does not know me. Okay. So therefore, that relation is also not a symmetric. Okay. So now, how to compute the similarity? We talk about the dissimilarity measures, but how to compute the similarity? That we should focus. We have some more time. I think recording is going on, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good. So now, for computing similarity between two objects, earlier whatever we learned, that is we are comparing similarity between an attribute. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, what you have to do, you have to compute the similarity between two objects. So therefore, while computing the similarity, you have to learn for computing the similarity for attributes that we already learned, and then you have to sum them. So now one simplest measure is something called simple matching. So simple matching is nothing but, so there are some terms here. So this is applicable for the binary. So f01, that is the number of attributes where x was 0 and y was 1. So let me tell you what is this meaning. So you have the binary attributes. So let's say you have a set of a pair of objects. A pair of objects has, let's say, both of the objects should have the same attribute, that is we are studying. So if it is different attributes, so that I am not covering right now. So we are assuming that considered objects should have the same number of attributes. Now out of the same attributes, so let's say you have the 10 attributes. So out of the 10 attributes, you compare 0 indicates that is the number of attributes where x is 0 and y is 1. Then 1, 0, that number of attributes where the first object has 1 and the y has 0, and the number of attributes where both is having 0, both are having 0, 0, and the number of attributes where both are having 1, 1. Now to summarize this for this one, what I said, we'll find where they agree and then where they disagree. If they agree, then we'll consider that those will be taken into account for considering the similarity value. So where they agree, both they are agreeing 0, 0. Here also they are agreeing both are 1, 1. So we'll compute number of attributes where both object agrees. Both object agree. So therefore, we compute how many, that is F00 and F11. So simple matching is number of matches by the total number of attributes. So total number of attributes is obviously if you add it, and the number of matches is this one. So this is something called simple matching. But problem with simple matching is if you observe 0, 0 indicate actually non-present. Okay, non-present may not be the similarity. As I said earlier also, or if I had not said, it is there in the slide. So if myself find my friend in the supermarket, will I tell that we are quite similar because most of the item we did not purchase. Okay. So if we compute the similarity between myself and then my friend, considering that how many objects we did not purchase, and obviously how many objects we purchased together. So the number of objects not purchased compared to the number of objects available in the store is quite high. So therefore simple matching, therefore we'll get the similarity value between one to others. We can have the, that means in that sense maybe one will be similar to all other guys and so on. So therefore we cannot conclude anything from computing similarity using SMC. So therefore what is done is another measure is considered, that is Jacquard. Jacquard says don't see that how many item not purchased. Please see that how many item same item we purchased together. Okay, so that is the value that F11. So therefore Jacquard says is F11 by number of items. So I'm not seeing, unfortunately, I'm not seeing the messages actually. If you write some message, I may miss. So it will be good if you unmute yourself and then ask question directly. So this is Jacquard. Jacquard got introduced 1889. So it is quite applicable on many domains, not only data mining, it is there in recommender system, it is there heavily used in information retrieval and might be in other domain also. Okay. So one example will be much clear. So we have two vectors x and y. Okay. So machine learns from example, you know, that is machine learning mostly we give so many example, right? And from example machine finds the relationship between the attributes and the target objects, or a relationship between the attributes. Okay, but human we study and then understand. But nowadays many times we are very happy to learn the subject from example. So we are becoming machine. So x and y, we have the two objects here. So what you see is if you go for the simple matching, how many times both agree 0, 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So therefore we are saying 7 by total number of attributes. So this is coming 10. 7 by 10. But how many times they agree with 1, 1? Unfortunately, this is no. They actually, these two guys are not similar to each other. But if you compute SMC, it will value come with 0.7. If you compute the Jacquard, its value is 0. Now another measure is cosine similarity, that also you must have studied earlier. Is like if you have the two documents D1 and D2 and then document is represented by two vectors D1 and D2, then how to compute the similarity between two documents? It's like these two vectors form an angle, so that angle is, you take the cosine of that angle. So that is something like that. You take the dot product of D1 D2 and then you take the norm of this vector D1 D2, and here we take the Euclidean norm or L2 norm. Now you have a set of example here. So let's say you have a set of values here and you want to compute the distance, or sorry, you want to compute the similarity between two documents. Then what you have to do? First you compute the dot product here. So you compute the dot product. You compute dot product between D1 and D2. And then you will get 3 into 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 5, 0, 0, 0, and so on, 2 into 1 and 2, 0. So essentially you will get 3 into 1 plus 2 into 1. So you will get 5. And then you take the, you compute the Euclidean norm. So Euclidean norm for this one, what is? There 3 into 3, 2 into 2, 0 into 0, 5 into 0, and so on. So and then take the square root. So you will get this value. And then you put this value 5 divided by 6.48 into 2.449. So you will get the cosine value 0.315. So please note that this value also varies from the -1 to +1. So moving to the next one. So Jacquard can be extended to, that is something called Tanimoto measures. So this is something x dot y by x norm plus y norm minus x dot y. Okay. So binary attribute that will reduce to Jacquard. So I have another 5 to 6 minutes to complete. So now I skip while telling the Mahalanobis distance. I told how to compute the covariance, right? So here we will complete that part. So covariance formula is here. What is that? So as I said, covariance between two variable in a sense between two features. Okay. So between two features. So for, let's say you have the two-dimensional 2D data, so you can plot on 2D. So therefore, whatever the value of x of the all points, so let's say you have 10 points, so you take the average of the x coordinates, so that will give you the x bar. Similarly, you take the average of the y coordinates, so you take the y bar, and then for the each point starting from k equal to 1, that is the sample size, it will come from the all point you take and then multiply, and then you take the average. So that will give you the covariance. And then what about the variance? So variance is nothing but the square of the standard deviation. As you can see, the standard deviation is nothing but summation over x minus x bar square. So it is the only variance with single variable. So therefore it is only one term, sorry, xk minus x bar, and don't take it here. So it will the square, so it will cancel out. So that will give you the variance. And then this is nothing but the average or mean. So that is, and then you can form the, so given a data set you can find the covariance matrix, and from covariance matrix you can compute the Mahalanobis distance. So here I missed one thing, so that is something called correlation. So correlation is another angle. So it is the, once you compute the covariance between two variable or two features is nothing but, first you compute the covariance divided by the standard deviation, multiplication by the standard divided by the multiplication of the standard deviation of these two features or two variable, that will give you the correlation. So, but there are different way to compute the correlation, that I will come later. So now this is one example that correlation value start from -1 to +1. So if these values are there, so this is the negatively correlated this point, and then if both points are positively correlated, you will get this value. Okay. Now you compute the correlation. For correlation, what you need to do it, say suppose there are two vectors x and y, you compute the correlation between x and y. So if you go back the equation for computing the correlation, you need to compute the covariance and standard deviation. So let us understand standard deviation here. And in standard deviation, you have this formula, this term. What is this term? You need to compute the average. So if you have the average is 0. If it is 0, you may get the covariance, what is called standard deviation, and you can get the variance. But what happened for this term, covariance? For covariance is like multiplication of 0 with other term. So therefore, entire the numerator will be 0. So that is, it is shown here in this example. So in the first case, mean of x will be 0. So one term is 0, means mean of y might be y. But standard deviation also you can compute. That is no issue, because standard deviation is not involved. It involves mean, but it is x minus mean. If it is 0 also, you can compute. But what happened the correlation? Correlation is like always it is coming 0, right? So therefore overall value will be 0. There are something is called domain of application. Obviously, comparison of the proximity measures. Domain of application, similarity measure trained to be specific to the type of the attributes and the data. Obviously, as I said, so you know the all way to compute the what is called is similarity or dissimilarity. But obviously, you have to use your intelligence while applying some data mining techniques where it needs to compute the similarity or dissimilarity value. Okay. There are some measures, is something called information based measure. So basically, where we have the probability of happening something and you have a multiple outcome. So in that scenario, one can use the information based measure. Okay. So information relate to the possible outcome of an event. So if I say sunset if I say sunset in the west, is there any information? So if you have a more probability or more chance or more what is called is chance of happening a particular fact, if you have a more, then you will say you will have the more information. So if I say the India bomb America, so this possibility is, as you understand that what is the possibility that, so if there is a more possibilities, so then we will say key, so that information is more. So that is something called the information theoretic say is, if you have the more uncertainty, so you have the more information. If I say is your roll number exact, if I can say, if I ask you what is your roll number, what is the probability of your roll number, you will say your roll number, so there is no probability, so it is always fixed. So therefore there is no information. So the more certain an outcome, the less information that it contains, and the vice versa. Okay. So for computing for measuring the information in a system, how much information it has, so entropy is the common measure used in computer science or electrical science domain. So here we go. Let's say we have a variable with n possible values. Let's say we have an attribute color of ball. Okay. So then it may have a red, yellow, blue, black, and then different mixing of color. So those are the outcome of that event or on that attributes, and each outcome should have a probability. So what is the possibility that eye color will be green for human being? Okay. So that is probability is 0, right? So that probability is 0 means it is the less information it has. Knowing those information or those features, we can compute the entropy of the system or entropy of the variable or entropy of the attributes. And this is the formula here. So that summation over number of outcome pi log 2p. Pi is nothing but the probability of that particular outcome, and then you take the log and then you take the summation. So what will be, when will be the value is 0? So then entropy value will be between 0 to 1. So entropy value, least value will be 0 and the highest value will be log n. Okay. So I stop at this point. So in the next class, we will start from the entropy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And then slide is already uploaded.
Thank you, sir.
You can access the slide. So, and then video, if you also wish to have, maybe I can upload the video also. So next class is 8 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, Shivam.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.